Have you ever faced a frustrating 404 error while working on your AngularJS project? It can be really annoying, especially when you refresh the page and everything seems to break. If this sounds familiar, you're in the right place. Today, we're going to tackle the AngularJS routing 404 error when using HTML5 mode. I totally understand your pain. You set everything up and it works perfectly until you hit that refresh button. You're not alone in this. Many developers encounter this issue when they first start with AngularJS routing. Let's dive into the specific question at hand. One user recently asked, "Why do I get a 404 error when I refresh my AngularJS page?" They shared their code and mentioned that everything works fine until they refresh. Sound familiar? Let's explore this together. So what's happening here? When you refresh the page, the browser tries to access the URL directly, which doesn't exist on the server. This is a common issue when using HTML5 mode in AngularJS routing. But don't worry, we can fix this. And stick around. I have a simple solution that will not only fix this issue, but also improve your overall AngularJS experience. You won't want to miss it. To resolve the 404 error when refreshing the page, the user should ensure that the server is configured to handle HTML5 mode correctly. This involves setting up a fallback for all routes. Next, the user should modify their server configuration. If they are using a server like Express, they can add a catch-all route that serves the index.html file for any unknown paths. After updating the server configuration, the user should test the application again. They can do this by navigating to the routes directly in the browser and refreshing the page. Finally, if the user is still encountering issues, they should check their browser's console for any errors. This can provide additional insights into what might be going wrong. Fun fact, did you know that the first web browsers didn't support JavaScript? We've come a long way since then, but routing issues can still trip us up. Now let's look at the answers provided by other users. This user suggests that to resolve the 404 error in AngularJS when using HTML5 mode, you need to implement URL rewriting on the server side. This means all your links should redirect to the entry point of your application, typically index.html. For Node.js and Express.js, you can serve your Angular files and rewrite URLs using specific code. For IIS on Windows, you can set up rules in the web config file to handle the rewriting. Similarly, for Apache, you can use the htaccess to manage the URL rewriting. Now, let's see a response from a different user. One user faced a similar 404 error when using HTTP Server as their local web server. They found that this issue is common with HTML5 mode in AngularJS. Their solution was to switch to Nginx as the web server. They also provided a command to manage the Nginx service, which includes starting, stopping, or checking the status of the server. That wraps up that answer. Let's move on to another one. An alternative solution suggests that the issue arises because the variable route provider is not assigned to your controller. This prevents the controller from accessing .params. The user recommends modifying the controllers to include route params. Additionally, the user advises upgrading to a newer version of AngularJS, specifically version 1.6.4, to ensure compatibility with the routing features. Here's the pro tip. Always ensure your server is configured to handle client-side routing. This will save you from countless headaches in the future. And there you have it. With these simple adjustments, your AngularJS application should work seamlessly, even when refreshing the page. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe for more tips and tricks on AngularJS and web development.